Welcome back. So we are continuing with transformations and translations, and we had just left off by saying that a translation is a slide that moves all the points of a pre-image the same distance in the same direction. So your pre-image becomes your image, and I can tell this one's the image because it has the prime notation on the corners. And we discussed that translations, because it preserves the size and shape when you get to the new figure, it's the same size and shape, they are isometries. Okay? So when I look at a figure and I want to know which one is the pre-image and which one is the image, I need to look at the labels. I can see this one has F, G, H, and I, and this one I see the apostrophe. So this one's F prime, G prime, H prime, and I prime. So if I want to label my figure with my pre-image and image, I can tell the one without the primes is my pre-image. I'm going to write pre on that one. And my figure with the primes is my image. Okay, so I have my pre-image on the upper left and my image on the lower right. Okay, then it says, how was the pre-image changed? So I'm going to write over here, C graph. So we can see we identified which one was the pre-image and which one was the image. Okay, so now how was the image or the pre-image changed? So how did this one get from here to here? I can see the whole thing moved over to the right and it moved down, right? So it shifted to the right and down. But can we tell how much it shifted, right? So sometimes we get a little bit confused because we'll just say, okay, to get from here to here, let me just count. And we say, oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes between the two. But we really need to go from matching point to matching point. So to get from the F to the F prime or from the G to the G prime is really the distance we're looking for to tell us what the change was. Okay, so if I want to know what that change was, I'm going to have to count how far right I went and how far down I went. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. So if I count, I can see I have to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units to the right. And then I have to go 1, 2, 3 units down. So I'm moving 8 units to the right. That's blurry. 8 units to the right and 3 units down. Okay, so when it says, how was my pre-image changed? I shifted to the right 8 units and down 3 units. Okay, now what we're going to do is talk about coordinate notation. Coordinate notation is going to start with an original point, and then you're going to have a little arrow, and it's telling you that your point, your original pre-image point, x, y, does some sort of transformation, and then in here it's going to tell you what that transformation is, what you're going to do to x and what you're going to do to y. When you're adding and subtracting to x and y, then this arrow can be thought of as your pre-image point translates to, and then these are the directions for the translation. Okay, notice I have a symbol plus or minus here, so you could do x plus a number or you could do x minus a number. So if I think about a graph, when I'm adding to x on my x-axis, if I'm increasing my x, I'm moving towards positive numbers, so that's going to be adding is going to move me right. When I move left, I'm getting smaller, so that would be subtracting. So if I see inside here x plus a number, I know I'm going to be moving that many points to the right. Okay, if I subtract from a, or if I subtract from x, I know I'm going to be moving that many points to the left. Then we do the same thing with y. My y-axis goes up and down. So I know that if I am adding, if I'm increasing y, I can tell that's going to be moving up. So if I add to y, I'm moving up. And if I subtract from y, if I'm here and I start subtracting, I'm getting smaller, so I'm moving down. Okay? So when it says, what is the coordinate notation for the figures above? To write that coordinate notation, I am going to first start with my pre-image, which are my plain x, y's, are going to translate to, and remember we said we're going to move 8 to the right. If I wanted to move right, I have to add to x. So x plus, I'm moving 8 units to the right. So I'm going to put x plus 8, oops, and then not a parentheses. I think I have whiteout. I don't. Pretend I put a comma here. X plus 8, and then I want to move 3 units down. So if I'm moving down, I'm going to do y minus, I'm moving 3 units down. So y minus 3. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite that because of my little mess up there. So x minus y translates to x plus 8 to find my new x value, and then y minus 3 to find my new y value for my prime coordinates. Okay? Alright, so there is an introduction to using coordinate notation. Remember, when you're adding or subtracting from x, that moves you right and left. When you're adding or subtracting with y, that's going to move you up and down. Okay? Let's look at an example. Draw the image under the translation. So notice it says x minus 2 and y minus 5. So what that's going to have me do is that's going to have me, when I do x minus 2, when we subtract on the x value, that moves us to the left 2. So I know this right here means every point is going to move left 2 units. And then my y minus 5 is going to move me down 5. Okay? So if I look at my points over here, k is at the point -1, 3. L is at the point 3, 3. And M is at the point 2, 1. Okay? So then when I want to figure out where my new points are going to be, I have one of 2 ways to do it. If I just know my points and I have my coordinate notation, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that coordinate notation and say, okay, I'm going to subtract 2 from my x values, and I'm going to add 5 to my y values. Or sorry, subtract 5 from my y values. And that is going to get me to my image. This is my pre-image, right? And I want to get to my image. It says draw the image. So I have my pre-image. I want to draw the image. Okay? So my k prime is going to be -1 minus 2 is -3. 3 minus 5 is -2. L prime is going to be 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 minus 5 is also -2. And then M prime is going to be 2 minus 2 is 0. And 1 minus 5 is -4. Okay? So if I want the new points, I could just do that. I just subtract my 2 and subtract my 5 from my x's and my y's. Or I could just actually go to the graph and use the graph to do it for me, right? I know each point is going to move to the left 2 and down 5. So I could say from K, go to the left 2 and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. here is K prime. From L, I'm going to go to the left 2 and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here is L prime. And M, I'm going to go to the left 2 and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here is M prime. So there is my new image sketched on the graph, and my new points are -3, -2, 1, -2, and 0, -4. So if you have the graph, you can just count on the graph. If you are given the points, you'll have to do the addition or subtraction to find your prime coordinates. Okay? In the next video, we're going to do some more practice writing coordinate notation, and then we're going to do a little bit more with applying the coordinate notation. All right, so come on back for that next video. Thanks so much for watching.